Can you remember a time when you had a big dream or an inspiring idea, and just the thought of it was so exhilarating, so exciting, that you didn't even really care if it panned out or if it was successful or if anyone really liked it? You were just so consumed by the inspiration itself, by the feeling of the desire, by the originality of where it came from within you. And that was like sweeping you up into, I don't know, a space where time didn't exist, where you, that sense of yourself, just dissolved. Like everything fell away and there was so much energy, so much focus, so much intention, so much presence, so much energy, right? And somewhere along the way we get sucked into the idea that there's like an outcome that's going to bring us something, right? And there's something that we got to prove, and if we do it this way then it'll be successful and people will like it or people will buy it or people will get behind it. And all the while we start to kind of sell ourselves out. We start to sell out our soul. And we lose sight of the journey or the process along the way, which was once so fulfilling. In truth, it was everything, right? Like how many times in the past, especially when you were, 5 to 10 years old, you did it for the sake of doing it, right? You had the idea, you couldn't help yourself. You didn't even care if you finished it. You were just so consumed by the energy, by the desire, by the experience, right? And then even the thought of sharing it with the world didn't even occur to you until you were done, or until you were in the finishing stages where you had the thought of like, oh, this would be so exciting to share. I want to share this with people. But how often now are we kind of jumping the gun and putting the cart before the horse, thinking like, well, what are people going to think, right? How is this going to be received? Is it even going to be successful, or is it going to make sense? And all of this is sucking the life out of it. It's all undermining the whole process from the very beginning. And we lose that childlike quality. We lose that creative spark. We lose that original intention, that original energy that gave birth to it to begin with. And you know what I'm talking about, because this is that force that sweeps you up. It's that flow state that just consumes you, that breathes life into you, that draws out of you motivation, inspiration, commitment, right? Grit, resilience that you didn't even know was there. It made you feel things that you didn't even know you could feel. It connected you with people and places and synchronicities and all these things along the way that you would never have otherwise encountered if you had not lost yourself in the process. And this is sort of a long lost art of the imagination of a pure child, which is always within you. It's just that our beliefs, our expectations, our anticipation, our insistence gets in the way. And it starts to dull this and dampen this. It starts to interfere with our fulfillment, with our passion. And it's a damn shame, because this is really what it's all about. This is what allows us to take on multiple things, right? Then we start to grow up and we think, well, I'm going to be this. Like that question when you were younger of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like, well, you have to pick. You got to be a scientist, you got to be a doctor, you got to be an astronaut, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be fill in the blank. But what if you didn't have to be one of those things? The people that I'm most inspired by are like polymaths. They have so many interests, so many passions. That's why I love entrepreneurship, because the most inspiring entrepreneurs, the most inspiring inventors, the most inspiring artists are multifaceted, multidimensional. They are accessing new reservoirs within themselves. They are accessing unseen realms within themselves, which brings out unbelievable, unpredictable qualities from within themselves. This is what it's all about, discovering who you are, right? Facing your fear, facing your insecurities, uncovering your limiting beliefs, moving into the resistance, finding comfort in the discomfort, and discovering more of who you are. Somewhere along the way we lost sight of this and we thought it was about an outcome. We thought it was about getting somewhere. We thought it was about pleasing certain people. We made it about the result, as if that point on the horizon was the entire thing. When actually the entire thing is within you, and every day you get to discover more of it. You get to uncover more of who you are. What if that's the goal? And in that sense, you've got nothing to lose. And that in itself reframes risk and consequence and failure. How can you fail when you discover more of yourself? How are there any consequences when really the result is expansion, learning, growth, new perspectives, new connections? You cannot fail. You just simply fail forward. You keep moving, you keep growing. That's the beauty of this, is creativity compounds and you expand and life becomes rich, wildly rich, beyond money, beyond results, beyond success, beyond fame, beyond recognition, but from a direct recognition with your soul. And that, above all else, is wildly rich. To liberate your soul is to be rich beyond what this world can offer you. And that is the intention of my wildly rich experience, which you've probably heard me talk about. And I'm going to personally invite you into this. We start on August 24th. This is going to be 4 weeks, daily voice notes, videos, stories, 3 live sessions, diving deep, supporting each other, uncovering these limiting beliefs, getting going, uncovering the ways that we're sabotaging ourselves and holding ourselves back, up-leveling, breaking through, bringing to life, manifesting our desired reality, and being that frequency of wildly rich, which is your birthright. And it is what you deserve above all else if you claim it now. So this is all about becoming like a child again and living wildly rich. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, comment rich down below and I'll send you a link where you can learn more about this.